Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Football Shirt Social, your bi-weekly YouTube show that looks at the weird and wonderful world of football kits from around the globe. I'm, of course, your host, Tony Jameson, joined, as always, by my right-hand man, Si Maggio. But before we say hello to Si, we're going to say hello to our special guest for this week, the man behind Discovering MLS over on YouTube, Tom Spark. Tom, how are you, pal? Are you well?
Very well, thank you, Tony. Yeah, very well. I'm very excited to be here as well, thank you.
Oh, we're glad to have you in. It's nice to see some new faces that maybe we haven't come across our path. And it's been one of those ones where we've spoke about getting this together for a little bit, and we're like, right, let's get it locked down. And here we are, ready to go. So, first of all, I suppose we'll do the proper hellos. How's things going on? More importantly, what are you wearing? That's the first thing, and it's less creepy than it sounds.
Yeah, it is it's a beautiful shirt, and they're like you said, it's an Icarus for a start.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good. I think two of the three of us tonight are on the Icarus train.
Unplanned, not it wasn't
spontaneously
only off chance.
But I've got Ghana's finest with the Cape Coast Ebusa dwarfs and the sort of crab's legs design, which is I think beautiful. There's this black and white one. There's also a more colourful version of this as well, but it's sublimated Icarus kit, which I think I absolutely love, to be honest. One of my favourite shirts. So it's and I love the fact that it's so obscure as well.
No, it's absolute banger, and there's a cracking print on it as well. I remember as soon as we clicked the cameras on, it was just like, oh, hello. That's what we like. We like a bit of that. So fantastic. So appreciate you bringing those in. And we are a fan of Icarus around here, aren't we, Si? As he sort of like goes straight into, hello, Si, how are you? What Icarus shirt are you wearing today?
Now,
I just turn the lights on behind me. 2 seconds.
I don't like. So the Icarus shirts are interesting because I think they're a US brand, but they do the Mysterious Dwarfs one, and they do this one, which is Valhalla FC. But they also do a number of teams that aren't real, which, and I was like, okay, is this Valhalla FC real? And I thought the same with the Dwarfs. I was like, is that like a real team or not? Because I think they do a whole load of Greek mythology ones. I think that's Icarus who've done those. Yeah. So, but this is a real team. This is Valhalla FC. They are based in Cincinnati. And it's I'll show you. It's quite a cool shirt.
That's fascinating shirt, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little on the tight side. I don't know what it is. It might be a small, so I might have risked it a little bit. And I've been out in the sun in it today. So
player issue. It's player issue size. Say that.
That's it. Yeah, well, that's it. Gorilla glue on the sleeve.
That's great.
50 West on it. You can see where it's a little bit too small. It stretches out a little. It's just it's the gun show, you see. And then you can get the design a bit better on the back.
Look at that.
That's classic.
Mythology on there. It's
nice one. Yeah. So it's it's all sublimated as well. Do you know when I got my very first surprise shirts box? They had, what did I have? I had the what was the team? I've forgotten already. It wasn't Oakland Roots. I know a lot of people got the Oakland Roots shirts.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the team. Anyway, it was a really nice shirt with a really cool design. But I was disappointed I didn't get the away one, because the away one was a Sugar Skull one, and I've got a nice collection of the Mexican Sugar Skull shirts. So, but yeah, they do some really interesting shirts. I think they're one of those manufacturers that likes to go out there with all their designs. I think there's a few of these now. Icarus is one of them. Olive in York is one of them.
Yes, I've got a few of those. Fantastic.
Yeah. I was wearing. Oh, it's in the other room. I could have shown it. I got the new. Well, there's the scarf for it for the New York international team. I got sent the shirt, which is like a Germany-inspired one.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, that's a stunner."
Circa 88 sent that to me. I won their competition, and then I met the guy this week. He's a very nice guy. Tom is his name. So yeah, that was they do some really nice shirts. There's a couple other brands as well that I think are just like, they might be sublimated, so they're a little bit. It does mean they don't tend to be quite as expensive. But it means they can get away with some really nice designs on them as well. Tony.
Yeah, so sorry, you were going to ask Tony, I guess, what the shirt he's got on.
Well, yeah, he also seems to have sort of mythology on his as well. We've sort of gone for a mythology theme this week, haven't we? Dwarfs, Valhalla, and
we're about to go to Eagles. So the story behind this shirt, for those people who go, what on earth is he wearing? This is PSS Sleman in Indonesia. Now, the reason behind this, okay, this is so obscure, it's unreal. Like, I did a Football Manager save last year, year before, 2 years ago. I tried to do a Build a Nation save in Indonesia. First time trying to do that sort of save. The reason I chose PSS Sleman is they've got a female-led ultras division, and I thought the story behind it was really cool. Like, they were trying to sort of be really progressive, and women felt unsafe going to the football matches, so they said, look, we're going to take over the running of like the sort of day-to-day stuff, like in terms of administration. We're going to make sure that everyone has a ticket. We're going to make sure that people feel safe in there. We're going to make sure that there's a club shop. We're going to bring an air of professionalism. They also wanted to make sure that the fans only chanted positively for 90 minutes. So there was no like getting on the team's back sort of thing. And Copper 90 did a documentary about them, which is amazing. We'll put a link in the description as well. So I thought, oh, they're my team. Like, because I was going through a time where I wasn't very good at the game. So I thought, well, this club, like, they're not allowed to chant for me to get sacked. Like, it's in their ethos. No matter how badly it is, they have to be like, he's doing a great job, isn't he? And of course, buying Indonesian football shirts is pretty difficult. Like, Sai and I have both got the PSIS Dragon shirt that Classic Football Shirts had on. And I got a message from a viewer about a week ago. Shout out to Classic Football Shirts again, by the way, for getting this shirt, which is this season's shirt in all sizes for £27. Right?
Good.
And it came delivered in PSSS Sleman little like pouch as well. Check the design of this. This is ridiculous.
Oh, wow. Look at that. It's got the wings on the sleeves.
It's really cool.
And then check the back.
Oh, man. Oh, there's a football pitch in the middle of it.
Oh, it's a pitch. It's cool.
Did you see the football pitch on it?
That's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. It looks good.
And then it's got these details. I don't know if you can see.
On the sleeve, yeah, the little. That's really
like Aztec style, like I don't know, it's
Really
Aztec, like
is.
diamonds, and it's the same on the collar.
So the badge
as
and
well.
manufacturer, how are they printed on?
So this is rubber. This is
Oh, that's
rubber
nice. I like it when they're like that.
and this is screen printed. So this is a company called SMBD. So I've cut the label off. SMBD, never heard of them before. And then there's so it's like an anniversary shirt as well, like 10 years. It must be at the same ground or something, but there's
Fantastic.
a
That's a really special shirt. That is 27 quid.
Nice. 20, yeah, they are.
And they've got them in all sizes. This is an XL, so I've gone a size up. I probably could have got away with a double XL, but I'm not going to buy a double XL. I'll buy an XL. But this is like, and it's like you can see there's the stitching there, the panel across the top. So that's a different panel. That's got a slightly different design, which looks like stars for the Java Eagles. So this, I'm well happy with it. Well happy with it.
Bravo. That is a fantastic shirt. I love it.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased, And I've been trying to not spend all of my money this week, Si, after last week's episode.
Well,
I've done a dreadful job at it.
Yeah. So you sent me you told me you were buying this lemon shirt, and I just added one to my Classic Football Shirts wish list, but I hadn't actually added the same one. So I saw this one. If shared it with you, Tony.
Excellent. Let me pop it up on the screen.
Oh, this is the third kit. Yeah, which is the same price, by the way, on Classic Football Shirts. But it also looks really, really cool. I don't know if you can see there's like
it's stunning. It's like a sort
temple.
of gargoyle's head or something, isn't it?
Yep. The back is plain, unfortunately, on that one, but you do get a different colored collar, which I think I just really think it's cool.
The collar put me off. I thought that if the collar was the same as, look at those details. I thought if the collar was the same as this, but green, then I probably would have bought them both. But because the collar's like, it reminds me like, it's not, but it reminds me like of an old Liverpool shirt, like a sort of Torres era Liverpool shirt. Do you know which one I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And I know we've had previously on the Room 101, like low collars have been questionable. But the design, like the gargoyle bit, is just incredible on there as an all over print. And I mean, that's not just a Nike template, is it? It's just roaming around.
Right, there you go. It's on my wish list for when they next have the 20% deal. But that both of them, that one and this one, and I'll be like, they've lost the smalls already, but I probably ought to go a size up.
I would go a size up. Yeah, like I said, this is an extra large. I like to think I'm a large. I'm a 90s large. That's what I am, Tom. I'm a 90s large. So back when a large used to be a large.
I had bought a large shirt, Tony, that I was originally going to get sent to you, and I looked at it this week, and I thought I'm going to have to try this. I'm going to have to try this on myself because I don't think it's a large, and I'm just going to check what country it's from because I think it might also be from where's Sleman? Is Indonesia?
Indonesia, yeah.
So this is another Indonesian team, and I was going to send you the shirt.
Well, I wonder if I know which one this one might be because there's another one on classic football shirts that I looked at and thought, oh, it's not that one. Oh, wow.
So yeah, but it's a large. It fits like a small. It's like this, and I was like, I probably can't send that one to Tony. He will be bursting out of it. But yeah, it's got a very cool design in the top. I mean, maybe we need to do an Indonesian football shirts episode, Tony, because I've got a football as well. But yeah, it looks
crazy grit, isn't it?
It isn't actually knitted. It just looks like it's knitted. But yeah, I just thought that was really cool. It's got a rubberized badge as well, and that looks very American football. Sorry if I don't knock my mic. That little Reds thing there, doesn't it?
It looks like, doesn't it? Yeah,
Redskins with an exclamation mark. But yeah, so that's one I'll probably wear, and he looks like a pop figure. This little dude down here. But
he does,
cool. Yeah.
He's called Mr. Kuinasi or something. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool shirt. Unfortunately, it's not going to fit you, so that's in my collection now.
That's all right. That's not a problem. There is another couple of Indonesian shirts on classic football shirts at the minute as well. So maybe that will be our new thing. We talked about trying to get our collections on the go. So maybe my country of choice is going to be Indonesia.
Who saw that coming?
Well, I mean, if you pay attention, there's subtle clues.
Tony, I've just seen Charlotte Patterson, who is someone you highlighted to me.
Yeah,
a great collector of football shirts. She has tweeted. When did she tweet this? This was last year, but this is the same team, NEA. But yeah, there's Mr. Kunasi on it again. But yeah, look at that. That's a nice shirt, isn't it? That one. That's what's in the color of mine. So, but
she's got an amazing collection of Asian football shirts. Like she's massively into like Japanese football and Korean football, and then like sort of went just all around Asia and just her knowledge is like unparalleled in that market. It's incredible. And then like she keeps posting her collection. I'm selling this one. And I'm just like, these are all bangers. These are like all absolute legit bangers. So yeah. Shout out there to Charlotte. Hopefully we can get her on at some point because again we are desperately trying to broaden our horizons and get people in there. We've got interesting stories like yourself, Tom.
Well, it's very kind of you to say, TJ.
I'm leaving you hanging on there. So let's go for it then. Before we start discussing about how I nearly spent thousands of pounds this week on more football shirts, we will get to that bit. Tom, talk to us a bit about yourself then. What got you into the world of football shirts, my friend, and where's your speciality lie? If I suppose we go.
Well, it's been a bit of an evolution, I think. So I'm a Leeds United fan. So since a kid, just buying the latest Leeds shirt has always been the thing for me. It was just new season, buy the new kit. I wasn't really passionate in the same way I am about shirts now. It was kind of just like it's a Leeds kit, I'll buy that, or it'll be a New England shirt, I'll buy the New England shirt, sort of thing. So liked the shirts, but didn't have the sort of passion or the range in that sort of way. It was sort of just this sort of tribalism
process.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You buy the shirt and you have the shirt. I didn't even wear them that much after after the initial, but just needed to have them. And then I think it was probably 5 or 6 years ago, started really sort of looking out and branching out and just thinking, God, there's some brilliant Italian ones or brilliant, US ones or, these ones that just brings back memories. I think the one of the first ones that really captured my imagination was the old, the purple Fiorentina ones, with the 7-Up and the Nintendo, that sort of thing. That was like, this is, I think there's one really rare one with the Mario on it as well. On that,
it wasn't even sure if it was real for a long time, but I think some people finally confirmed it is real, but it was never sold. So it's like there are literally 11,
like a marketing shirt or something, wasn't it? I think is that right?
It's ridiculously small numbers, and it's probably worth quite a lot of money. And but I think there are now quite a lot of fakes of it around.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing, so just to jump in, I tell you what I did see, and I know we said we're going to talk about this a bit later, but I went shirt hunting this week. There's 2 places that have started selling shirts in York. One guy, by the way. We'll shout out Lee James. He's a collector, and we will be getting him on at some point. I nearly bought the Vasco da Gama centenary shirt with the long sleeves, and I was like, it was stunning. But I was like, do I want Dimitri Payet's name on the back? I don't know. Like, so I was umming and ahhing on that. But in there, they had the Inter Milan shirt with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sponsor, and I've never seen it in real life.
Oh wow!
And I was like, showing it to my wife, and I was like, look, and she was like, is that the Turtles? I was like, yeah.
I didn't know they'd sold it, but I think I found out that they did sell it.
Yeah, so it was the away one. It was the orange kit. It was orange away kit with the turtles along the front. But again, I was too busy looking at this Vasco shirt and a was it a 2000? Was it 2002, 2004 Batistuta Argentina shirt as well? And I was like, oh, maybe. But you know how it's all mesh at the bottom. So I didn't know if I wanted that. So I was like, a bit unsure about that one. And then they had the Betis kit as well, but that was in the large and that didn't quite fit. So
I know
I've also only
sorry,
just I was gonna say I've only just learned that Dimitri Payet's gone to Brazil.
Yeah. It's of all the players that have ever graced Vasco da Gama, Dimitri Payet was the one who goes on the back of that shirt and going, we know who we should honor, Dimitri Payet.
Well, yeah, it's a random choice, but you know, just while we're on the that part of the world and the centenary shirts, one of the ones I've got actually ready here is the one from last year now, but 23-24, but it's the anniversary River Plate.
Ooh, yeah.
And
so
I just
clean,
loved this. I had to buy it through the Argentinian football shirts channel. Well, I think it was on Twitter, but it's just the cleanness and the way that the stripe goes through the badge.
Yeah,
it's just gorgeous. I just thought I need that. It's one of the ones there. Like I did spend more than I would normally on a shirt that isn't my team or that special, just because it was just beautiful.
Yeah, that the touch there, as you said, like the touch that the red stripe goes through the badge as well. Like we've had so many on the show where we've went, if only they just straightened it up or just got it. And like you're like, who signs this off from a design perspective? They're just like, oh yeah, but that's where it goes. Like, why would you not just like? Because look how much better it looks the second it like hits through.
It doesn't stop. It's just perfectly symmetrically through, and it's just that. Still got the tags on it because I don't want to take them off because it's so special. But it's like I say, it just works really, really nicely all the way through there. It's actually got the detail on the the Adidas stripes are actually in there as well.
Oh, nice!
So it's a special shirt. I love that one.
Yeah, there's just so little going on, but so much at the same time, isn't it? Like, how can you get away with doing nothing and making it look like really grand? Like,
exactly.
The Vasco one, I hadn't realized because shout out to Jack Kenmare who was on the episode a little while back, and he was wearing that shirt while we talked to him. Remember, Si? He'd gone and bought that shirt. I didn't realize that on the cuffs is the coordinates of the stadium, like printed on as well. Like the nautical coordinates. I'm like, that's an amazing little touch. Like,
that's lovely.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to see that anywhere, but then it's just screen printed on. And I was like, oh, nice. Very nice.
That is very, very cool, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, but sorry, I interrupted your story. So you started off as a Leeds fan, went through that process of just constantly buying the same kit.
Yep.
Then did what everyone else does and realized, oh my God, Italy in the 90s was class. Yeah. And then...
It's such a middle-aged man thing to do, isn't it? To hark back to those sort of shirts, but yeah, it's true. But yeah, no, then just all sorts of other shirts really took my attention. Got a couple of Japan shirts, which are just really beautiful, special things. I don't know how they keep absolutely smashing it, and it just grew and grew. And then I got an interest in US soccer. I think it was generally around the time Leeds had Tyler Adams and we had Brendan Aronson. Obviously, Jesse Marsh was in charge as well. And sort of looking back through their sort of histories and went, I don't really know anything about this league. MLS has kind of been, Gerard Beckham went there, Gerrard went there. There's been, Henry, I think, played a bit there. And then you hear a little bit. So I thought, well, maybe I'm going to get into this. So I looked into it. It was just fascinating. So I thought, right, that is my next project. So I started the YouTube channel Discovering MLS, and then with that sort of came all of the merch. And one thing I think MLS do really, really well is their shirts. They've been through a real evolution themselves. I mean, the 70s stuff they had, which obviously wasn't MLS back then, but was still the top soccer league with Pele and Beckenbauer and all those guys in it.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And then it went through a stage of being quite plain, I think, in the shirts, quite simple designs. And then recently they've just gone wild with it. And I know Adidas is the Universal League sponsor, so you're not going to get the sort of variation in manufacturers there, but they've gone absolutely wild with it. I'm sure you've spoken and seen spoken about and seen some of the shirts that they've come out with recently.
Yeah, I think from what we've noticed, Si, and obviously Tommy will probably be able to back us up on this, is that we've noticed that for a country to have just one kit supplier, it's really interesting that they've been able to get some more diverse designs, because we spend so much time looking in England predominantly. We're seeing teams just get template kit after template kit after template kit. There's no thought behind it. We're looking at these non-league clubs now who are going, you know what, let's try and sell a few shirts by doing something different, something interesting, something wild. And I mean, for someone like Adidas to go, well, we have to do something interesting. And we've had a few absolute bangers, haven't we? We've been sitting going, these are brilliant. And a few stinkers as well, of course.
I bought the it hasn't arrived yet. It's with that Italy shirt that I'm waiting for. But with that is I think it's not the Red Bulls, it's New York City pre-match Captain America shirt. Have you seen that with like the Captain America things? It's a bit garish, and a bit corporate, but I thought, I kind of fancy that.
It's real Americana, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Tell you what, I have seen in real life, and we mocked it on the show because we did like an MLS kit reveal for when they announced the new branding this season.
Yeah,
and we tore to shreds that Atlanta away kit, the Atlanta away kit, which is all like graffiti and stuff.
Hang on,
Atlanta, yeah.
He's got it.
You know what? In real life, it's amazing. I never knew how much I'd like it.
You actually like it? Good. It does actually look kind of cool. Yeah. I think maybe the colors just pop that bit better in real life. I mean, I'm not obviously even just through the camera.
Yeah,
it's slightly different.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I think it's one of these when they do these things that are real one-offs, and obviously that's they're not going to be doing this for every club. This is an Atlanta shirt, and it's really it's got the sort of the connection with the community and that sort of stuff as well. And it's really cool. And what the MLS do really well here is that they have the details on here, so there will always be some sort of detail on here. So this one has got the little sort of slogan on the back there. They're really good at putting these little Easter eggs in to their shirts as well.
Is that the pre-match, or is that the third? Is that the third shirt?
Yes, this is the third. Yeah,
because I've picked up a couple of MLS shirts this week. Weirdly, this wasn't planned at all, but I just seem to have picked up a load of American shirts this week, and one of them is Atalanta from 2017.
I saw that as well. We got ours, yeah.
Now it's kind of interesting because there's a few weird things about it. Now I've gone through. There's not that many like details on it, right? Like you're saying now. So this is 2017. So since then they've picked up a bit. So one of the things is, and I can't remember if it was this one or it's the Minnesota one, which I'll show in a bit. But this one, for example, everything looks fine, but where is it? Like the badge on the sleeve, for example, like that. And then I thought it was fake at first, right? Because I don't know if you can see the stitching on the bag. On the sleeve, but I've seen other MLS shirts since, and they're all like that. And I was like, that's like a really weird quality control for Adidas. And the same with the label in the bottom here, the wash label. Yeah, it's in upside down, but everything else about it's fine. The code is fine, And then I've seen a couple of those since, and the person sent me a receipt to say they bought it from Classic Football Shirts, and I was like, oh, this is really weird quality control. And then I had a similar problem with like this one, the Minnesota one, right? So this one I think is a player issue one.
That's lovely.
Yeah, it's nice. It's the same season, 2017. But then the problem with this one is you look up the code and it does that thing where lots of other shirts show, which is normally a red flag for football shirts. And you're going to tell me it's fake now, so I'll hopefully not though.
I'm not going to say that.
No. Well, so here's the thing. So you look up the code, but it turns out that back in 2017. They just printed. They didn't really market them properly, and they just for clubs like Minnesota. They just printed onto the template. They just used the template number. and they didn't actually use the they didn't have unique codes for the individual
Yeah.
shirt, which I found kind of interesting as well. Like I was
Yeah.
like, because that's normally the first thing you go to for codes.
Mm.
So like actually, I mean, while I'm here, because this was one of the other ones I picked up this week. Now, before I show this one, I've had a bit of an annoyance about this one, and a bit of a disagreement with someone on Vinted about this. So if they're watching, I'm very sorry, but they were a bit rude to me as well. So I was like, I was trying to be helpful, but essentially it's fake, right? So they sent me a fake, which is this. It's a nice shirt, but it's a fake, and I can feel in the quality it's fake. And that's one of the big difference between those other two shirts. And once I got this one, I was like, yeah, you can see the difference. And like, I checked the label in the top, and it took ages for Vinted to go around. And eventually, because they refunded me, and you don't have to send fakes back, like the seller was getting a bit annoyed. So, but anyway, if you search up that code says March 2021. Now this is the 2022 shirt, so it's like, well, they weren't producing it a year in advance, or a year and a half in advance, were they?
Yeah.
And the shirt brings up a load of Man United shirts or something. So it was like, yeah, I thought that was like kind of interesting, the way in which that one I was able to determine was fake. But I had a real problem with the other two, which were a while back. And it sort of goes into what you're saying, like they're paying more attention to those details in the shirts. Like both that Minnesota one and that Atalanta one, they're kind of classic, but they're also kind of plain. There's not really the details. They haven't got unique codes. Actually, the Atlanta one sort of is a unique code, I think. But it's like, there's small mistakes on them that you wouldn't normally expect from an Adidas quality shirt.
Yeah,
which I found really interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is really strange. I guess they didn't think there was going to be mass manufacture or fans around the world that are going to want them and need to know they're authentic, I guess.
Well, that's it. Both of those have gone through, like, if you had to ask someone to authenticate your shirts, you would go classic football shirts, wouldn't you? And they were both from classic football shirts. So I was like, new from classic football shirts. So I was like, okay, this is like a bit weird. Because originally I was these are definitely fake. And then as I went through the process, people were saying, no, they had template codes. They did these things. It's just very, very odd. And like that sort of tells you quite a lot about MLS. Like you would never get that with a Premier League team. If a Premier League team will have unique codes in it. I know some of the Serie A teams did for like some away shirts, but even then, like it wasn't for very long. It was just sort of this little period in 2017. But it's just, the way in which they market themselves, and then you look at them now, it's like a real marketing machine. I expect it's only going to get bigger as we head into what we got 2 years. Is it the next World Cup in 2 years?
It's the next World Cup's America again. Yeah, which again, maybe this is my middle-aged eyes looking back on it, but I'm looking back fondly on USA '94 and going, you know what? Everyone says it was a donkey tournament. No, it wasn't. No, it was one of the greatest World Cups ever. That's what it was, and it also was host to some of the greatest international football kits as well. USA '94 was like wall-to-wall classic. Like you try and think of a team and go, yeah, their '94 kit was pretty cool, to be honest.
England, they weren't there.
Yeah. And that's what made it a brilliant tournament.
I mean, that's also the thing that annoyed. Like, there was a World Cup in the US less than 30 years ago. There's been 2 World Cups in Mexico already. So, like, for me, it just annoys me. I'm like, just put another one in England already, or somewhere else, like somewhere that's never held one. At that point, I'm like, where's our? I'm trying to think of somewhere that's an Australia World Cup.
Yeah.
Why not?
Good point. Yeah. There's one thing I wanted to mention as well. We'll talk about MLS then. So let's go back before we come forward. So MLS, as you say, started off very plain, very boring, very almost like woolen football shirts, weren't they? Like the sort of when you had like the sort of the Tampa Bay Rowdies and things like that, like all these classic like
the
American team, the Cosmos, of course. Well, I
see a few of those Cosmos ones go around, and I don't know if they're genuine or not, but I am always tempted.
And they've rebranded again, and they're obviously getting more stuff out now. Like they sort of were one of the iconic teams back in the day, weren't they? And then there was like MLS. Oh no, it wasn't MLS. It was Major League Soccer, and things were wild back then, weren't they? Like Jorge Campos was basically designing every single football kit.
Yes.
And so let's talk about this then. So obviously some of the teams don't exist anymore. Nick Madden, who you mentioned before we hit record, was a big fan of MLS. Of course, he worked in America at the time. He had loads of original Major League Soccer shirts. Have you got any of them from the original days, or are these the Holy Grail shirts?
Yeah, no, it's not something I've been able to get my hands on. I think the supply of them is so limited. I don't know whether it's just that there isn't a resale market in the US that's giving that link. That's obviously certainly not as big as it is over here, but they seem really, really hard to get hold of. And like I say, when you do find them, the prices are absolutely sky high. But there are some, as you've alluded to, some absolutely beautiful shirts from over the years. There's been some really classic ones. But yeah, most of my collection are from probably the last 5 years. I don't think I've got much from way before that. But yeah, there's enough to go at there because we've got over 30 teams in MLS, and then you can pick up the USL shirts as well. Obviously, the league is not technically under it, but it's sort of the step down, if you like, on those. And then there's dozens and dozens more teams there as well. But yeah, no, the older ones they're very elusive. Unfortunately, they don't even come up on eBay that much.
Are you collecting just MLS, or are you also going for those, the other tier, the NASL and the NSL,
absolutely, yeah. No, yeah, I've got an Orange County shirt over here, which is. That's a beauty. I really like.
Oh, nice,
stuff.
That's an Adidas one. Interesting.
Yes, yeah. So they've got really high level, high level sponsors and teams and stuff here. So it's it is pretty cool. And like I said, it's got all the details of the USL Championship sort of stuff on there as well. So yeah, they're not skimping on the details there. Actually, the new Orange County one's really nice. It's got the map of the area on the.
Oh, I love a map shirt. Well, have to look at that.
That's very, very cool. But yeah, I haven't been able to afford that one yet.
Have you? I personally like Forward Madison or Las Vegas Lights. Las Vegas Lights ones are like.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a nice one. Hang on, I think I left it over there. One sec, I'll show you this one. It's great.
Go on.
Build for a sec while I find
it. Okay, I'm gonna try and guess. Is it the one with the inside, like the person's insides?
Yes, exactly that.
It is. Okay.
Yeah,
I love that one.
That's the one. Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Yeah.
There's also there's a bright pink, like topographic one that's quite popular. Or there's also a white version of that, and then I think there's also there's another one from a few years before which has got Zappos on it, which I've seen quite a few.
Yes, with the diagonal lines across. Yeah. Las Vegas are touted to be one of the next teams to get an MLS club. So it might be that the Lights turn into a new MLS franchise. So there's a few on the edges. We think San Diego is going to be the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely is going to be the next one from next season. But yeah, the after that, it's tentative. I think Las Vegas have got a very good shout of getting that.
Does the San Diego team have a name?
Yes, and it's San Diego FC. So they're nothing to do with the Loyal, unfortunately. I think they'll have a lot of this.
Loyal went past
the fan base.
So the first shirt that Tony got me when we did our mystery shirts was a San Diego Loyal shirt. Really nice one.
Oh, some gorgeous ones with like the green with the orange.
It's the away kit with Rocket League on it, and the as well.
That's an absolute beauty.
I was scrolling through and I was like, "There's no way this is legit," and they were like, "Yeah, apparently it is." I'm like, "Okay, let's go with it." And then even on camera, so I was like, "I'm just going to put the code in while we're doing this on screen because I'm not 100% sure." And I was like, "Check away, my friend, check away," because
it's the Charlie shirts. I love the Charlie shirt.
Charlie shirt. That was it.
Wow. It's got a lovely badge. A map shirt. I love a map shirt.
Yeah, me too.
Rocket League is just a cool sponsor to have. And like Stone Brewing on the back as well. I think I've had a few Stone Brewing beers. I can't remember which one they do. But yeah, they're I think everything about that shirt's great. And it's a shame that, like, in a way, I'd like to see Charlie do some of the. Sorry, I'm off screen now. I'd like to see Charlie do some of the MLS shirts, but they're not going to because Adidas hold the license.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's same with like Icarus, Olive in York. Like there's 5 or 6 other manufacturers. I can't think of them all right now. But yeah, it's just like. Adidas is going to tie up that license forever if that's the way they're going to sell it.
Yeah, it's only growing with the Apple TV deal as well. It's gone out to such a massive audience, and then obviously the Messi thing really exploded the popularity of MLS. So I think they're well in for that for the next few years.
Yeah, and again though, it's nice that they've taken a bit of a sort of like left field approach with some of the designs as well, rather than just lumping out, well, this is what we do over in Europe, so you can have things that are very similar. Like they totally went out with a sort of an individual. I feel like an individual style for each club. Like you do kind of have a bit of a feel for them. Each one does feel a little bit different, and so with that, then what's been the MLS shirt that you would say, right? Look, you know what, this is the one, and it could maybe not this season, but it could be over the last few seasons. Like, what would be the one that you'd be like, that's the best one I've ever seen?
Oh, that is really, really hard, Tony. There is some I absolutely love, and some that I haven't got that I really, really think are fantastic. I've got a couple here. I mean, there's one that you will definitely have heard of and seen, which is an impressive beast. Did cause a bit of a splash. The Bruce Lee Sounders shirt.
Oh yeah, seen that. Yeah. Oh, you got the sponsorless one. Very nice.
Yeah.
The sponsor ruins it a little bit on that one. I did see.
I think so too. Yeah, exactly that. So I do love that one. That's one of my favorite ones. But my favorite one from last season is this one again, and you'll recognize the team. And the beautiful thing about this is, so it is the skyline. I think, the cityscape. You can see that, and it's got beautiful colors as well. But the sponsor looks really good, and it's so rare you can say that, especially with MLS. They mess up with the sponsors all the time. And this Target, which is this, the shop Target, it's just beautiful. So there isn't a word on the front of this shirt, which is wonderful, and it's simplicity.
Question I've got, Tom, with these, and this is something that we discussed on the MLS episode, is the different versions of the shirts that you can get. Like, I remember that we were looking at them, and some of the ones had so for the player issue shirt, you got everything on it, and then for the fan shirt, you just got the badge of the team, and that was it. Like, they kept taking bits off. And you're like, I'm not sure. Like, I'm sure there's meant to be a collar on this. Like, no, not for fans. You're not allowed such things like that. Like, which versions have you been getting? Have you been getting the player issue ones, or are you getting the fan versions, or
a mixture, to be honest? But normally it's the fan ones because they are a lot cheaper. But to be honest, the knowledge in here, we were in Orlando holiday a couple of months ago, and I went into the Orlando shop. Yeah, because big MLS team, big purple stadium, it's fantastic, really, really impressive. And I sort of said, all right, I'm gonna really get the lowdown on these. I was doing a little video there as well. I said, so right, you've got the various different shirts, different prices. Which one's the stadium shirt? Which one's the player issues? And which ones are the fan ones? You show me. And then this guy just looked at me so blankly in the club shop, like they're over there, like the shirts. And I just go in, and look, they only had 2 different versions on there. But I was just like, it's not a thing for you, is it? I mean, you just work in the shop. You might be a fan, but you don't know the differences here. And I don't know actually whether that. I think it depends where you would go. In this country, whether you would know that. But I think most people that would be in the stores would know at least 2 different sort of styles of shirt there. But yeah, they can range absolutely massively. Like I said, it's not just the material; it's the stuff that's written on them, and it's the the way they're designed and stuff as well. So
we know the stripes stop halfway on.
Yes, they do. Yeah, exactly.
Went to Heroes, wasn't it? Or
That's
I got this season's Sporting KC one on this one. Actually, that one goes down to there on those ones, but it's you can see the differences. And obviously, players aren't going to be playing in this material. It's not. It's just not. It's not going to be a professional one there. But actually, this has still got the they've got the flags on there, but then again, little details on there, which again
is there a difference in the sizing as well? Like, because obviously with the player issue ones, like Sai came a cropper to this on one of his Portsmouth shirts years back. He's got an actual match worn Portsmouth shirt, which is like it's like body armor essentially.
It's lycra type thing,
like something that Michael Phelps would wear if he was like doing like a long distance swim.
It's so nice to wear to play in.
On it, but like
it's really interesting. So actually, you should say it, because I was looking at occasionally when I think I've got some money, I'll look at the match worn shirts and think, maybe I'll invest and I'll get an old one of the old Leeds ones. I was looking at a Luciano Becchio one. I don't know if you remember him, but Argentinian striker. I mean, we were in sort of League One in the Championship, but not a big guy at all. Quite a slight fella. And this match worn shirt, you can see the pictures on eBay. The sizing on it is XXL. I'm like, is this his shirt? Is it are they just trying to pass this off, or is it that this was such a slim shirt that he actually was wearing an XXL? And I couldn't work it out. I'd asked the people online, and they did say, these shirts were just so skinny. Back in the day, it was one of the Macron ones. So I don't think the manufacturer makes a big difference, but
Italian manufacturers do tend to run a tad smaller.
Kappa as well, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
4
Kappa
sizes
do
bigger
it.
than you need to be, because it's like they're all designed for svelte Italian people. It's like,
Exactly.
this is what you're meant to look like in. I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm meant to look like in it, but have you got one? Maybe that's why fan shirts came out. This is what you'll look like in it, and this is what we design in our heads.
Exactly. Like you said earlier on, it's the 90s fit. It's the Robbie Fowler big baggy ones,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what I want to be about half a second slower because I've got wind, like sort of blow me back. That's what I want.
So I just noticed in the and I was going to show this because this is why I said I really have been on an MLS streak this week, because I picked up this one, I think just before the weekend, actually last weekend, but I picked up this one this is a TK Maxx purchase. So if anyone's after some MLS shirts, it is for the last, actually I think it's the last year and this year, but is the New York Red Bulls one.
Yeah, that's
nice.
great.
Which I think it must be the fan one, because did they stop on the fan one and they carry on the real? I don't remember which round it is.
Yes, I think that's it, exactly.
Oh, you don't get I haven't got the patches.
You haven't got the MLS
patches. Yeah, that's it on either sleeve. So yeah, it's the fan one, but it's about 35 quid. But yeah, I've just noticed in the top here that it does say slim fit right there. I can't move it there.
Right,
which
okay,
I haven't seen that in a football shirt before, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I have to look through some of mine now, see if they've got the any.
I've never seen them described as slim fit.
No, you see that in t-shirts in Next, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's if anyone is after some MLS shirts, TK Maxx has at least has the New York one. I didn't see any.
Yeah, I've seen a few there as well. Yeah, they had some. I think they had an LA one in there as well. It's they've got a few different ones in there. I was just going to say on the point of the of buying shirts in America, one football shirt manufacturer you may not be familiar with is this German-inspired Disney shirt. Which I couldn't resist, because it's a beautiful. It's actually, I don't know if you can see there. The collar is actually corduroy.
Amazing.
Was that at Disneyland or something?
It was. Yeah, it was at Epcot. They had the different countries.
Oh, they have different areas.
So in the German section, I was just like, that's a beautiful one. And I've not seen a Mickey Mouse. Well, I've seen a lot of Mickey Mouse shirts, but not actually Disney ones.
What's his name in German? I can tell you it in Swedish, but not in German.
I've got no idea.
His name in Swedish is Musa Pig, which Musa Pig, which is like mouse pig, or it sounds like mouse pig anyway.
That's it. No, I don't know. I should look that up in German, actually.
Yeah, there's well, Apple will be coming after Disney now if they keep producing them. They'll be we've got all the MLS rights now. Well, it's the German national team, isn't it? So they're all right. They get away with it.
I suppose, yeah, but it's synonymous with Adidas as well, isn't it?
Well, for now, of course, they're changing, aren't they? Big, massive news story. They're going to Nike, which is like it just doesn't seem to make any sense. You visualize Adidas, the German manufacturer, making the German national team. Now made by Nike going forward. It
does seem an odd choice, doesn't it? It's a real departure.
Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right.
They're going to have to do something on the shoulders. They can't just not have the. Well, you can't put stripes on it, but I'll be interested to see what they come up with. Maybe they'll surprise us.
I think do you know what? You'll see it and you'll think, this feels weirdly German. Like, this feels right, but wrong at the same time. You'll see it and you'll think, it just never occurred to me. I look back at some of which ones were they? Some of the France kits, and you think, wait, that looks like, when they got Adidas before and they got Nike now, and you think, well, I think they're with Nike still now, aren't they? But some of the Nike ones are quite nice, and it's like, well, actually, it doesn't feel that weird.
I think Brazil Nike, and they obviously Umbro would be traditionally an England manufacturer. And you sort of be like,
the way Nike went around about that, buying Umbro, and then just like, hey, go on your way again. We've got the England license now. That was a bit cheeky, but yeah. I don't know. I feel like England. I prefer the Umbro England ones. I'll tell you, the only Nike one I really, really like is the season where they just basically went to a classic football shirt, and it was like basically a polo shirt.
Oh yeah, was that? And it was
white.
white collar as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, white collar. And I think they did another one, the one on either side of it. I don't know which side it was. There was a very similar one, white with just a red collar. But they were like, these are like a collar, like an actual collar, white polo shirt style. And they were nice. They were nice to wear in the summer as well because the material was very, light and airy.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Some people say, what can you do? What can you do with a plain white shirt, eh?
So
Leeds,
something that
Leeds. What's the Leeds shirt?
Oh, yeah.
This season's been brilliant with the peacock. I've got the home one here. I've left that upstairs, but away one's here. They did a white version.
Oh yeah, it's nice, that one. I like that. That actually gives me that. I could see that being a Seattle shirt, to be honest.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
It does sort of remind me of
Charlotte's colours, actually.
What's the pink and yellow one you've got as well? You went
the real rhubarb and custard line.
Something that interests me about the MLS ones actually is they are 2-season shirts, aren't they? They're not 1-season shirts.
They are, yeah, because they overlap. They only change one per season, so they keep the one from the previous season. But as you'd expect from the world's biggest capitalist democracy, that they are very good at producing shirts just randomly throughout the season. So I've got a few here that are they'll do a Pride shirt every year.
Well, we were going to get to the news. That's in. Yeah. Do you want to skip ahead to that? That's very nice. That one. I like that one.
That's lovely.
I like that one.
Nice.
Is that last season's one?
I think so. Yes. Yeah, that was the one before. I can't remember exactly which, but yeah, it's a really nice one there. And then they do the Unity shirt from a good few years back as well.
Oh,
so they will just drop these.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Every team in the league gets the same. And again, I've got the sponsorless one on this one, which
I'd wear that on holiday.
A lot better.
A nice.
They will just drop them. Every team will get the same one, but they'll change the badge. But it's again a nice exercise. They're normally these sort of ones. I don't know about the main ones, but they're normally things like they're made of recycled materials. They're made of old plastic bottles, that sort of stuff. So it's all sort of eco-friendly on that basis. But they're still selling another $100 shirt throughout the season, basically.
Yeah. Well, if we come to the news, then Si.
Well, 3 days ago, and I was saving this for later, but we might as well cover it now. This is the new Pride shirt. Had you seen it, Tom?
No, this is completely new to me. I love it.
Oh, here we go. See, I'm in two minds about it. Like, I much prefer the two that you've got there. I think I like that it's a cool design, but it's like
it doesn't shout pride to me. It shouts
It
shouts very much like like when it feels like a sort of like a heat map. Almost like a body map or something, just like
petrol station forecourt. What you see.
Have you ever seen those octopuses that go invisible?
It reminds me the translucent ones.
Yeah. It's like
and the sponsor looks like it's from like a really weird video game.
Oh no, I was gonna say it looks like one of those nightclubs that just never really shut down, but
somewhere in maybe Peterborough or something like that. And
it's called like Club United or Club Love or something.
Do you remember when Love Unites was a thing? Yeah, it was like three for a $5. It was brilliant.
VKs,
sticky floors, exactly. Yeah.
I love it. I think it's brilliant. I'm definitely picking one of those up.
Which club would you go? Go on. Which club would you go for? Considering they're all identical.
Oh, I mean, this is dead.
Hang on.
There is a difference on the back.
Your sponsors are on the
main
back.
Sponsor on the back, which is great. I do. The first one you put up there was the Philly one, and I love that badge. So actually,
the bimbo
that one
and the Philly badge. Bimbo and the Philly badge would be good. And I think if it wasn't that one, maybe the badgeless one, which I think is that one Miami? I can't quite see. I think it's
That's
Miami.
A Miami one.
Sorry. Yeah, they don't seem to have a sponsor at the minute. Definitely not LA Galaxy because Herbalife is a scam. I don't know what Dutch Bros is, but Dutch Bros sound kind of cool.
And chain.
Right. Well, they've got a big windmill on the back and a big hammer on the front, so that's kind of cool.
Love that. Yeah. Timbers.
And the LA Galaxy one with Rockstar energy drink on the back, that's not too bad.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Although I shouldn't be shouting out other energy drinks at the minute, is it?
Yeah, imagine if I had Sneak on the back, Si.
It
says code Si Maggio 10.
That's it. I'm in an advert for them at the minute, so yeah.
Yeah, I think
other energy drinks,
doesn't it?
The Philly one, the Philly one. I think. Which team is this? This is Oakland. No,
that's Portland Timbers, the Dutch brothers.
Portland Timbers.
Timbers.
Yeah, they got some lovely shirts as well. They're one from this season again. I think you showed it on the episode Nick was on. That's a lovely shirt from this season as well.
Well, I'll tell you which one I like this year, and it's coming back to the team we were talking about earlier. It's the
Oh
Minnesota
yeah,
one.
the Galaxy kit. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a shame LA Galaxy didn't go with the Galaxy kit, right? You know, that would have made sense.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
Who did you say? You said the Philadelphia. I like the Philadelphia Union ones.
Yeah, the Philly one's really nice. Yeah.
Was it the Timbers one?
It's lovely, isn't it?
Played. It's nice.
Yeah, that's great. There's another one.
Red or something. Is that right?
There's one with that's the one just on the bottom of your screen. There you go, with the on the right hand side, the white one with the ferns on it. There, that's that's nice. Really nice shirt.
Yeah.
And they had some trouble with the sponsor as well. I think they fell out with that. So there are some sponsorless ones about, and then some sponsored ones about.
I'd get a sponsorless one. I don't know what that sponsor is, but it looks like another dodgy insurance company. So
yeah, I don't know either, to be honest. But yeah, there's definitely
another
unsponsored. Because that I think the company. I think they did something very dodgy. Wouldn't like to speculate what it was. But
I feel free to speculate.
People said, no, we're not having this.
Allegedly. Is it a shoe company?
I've got no idea. I know the Philadelphia Union one has Thomas across it, and I didn't really know what that was until I was in the US, and they make the best bagels. Fantastic.
Oh, okay. So they're going to get rid of Bimbo and they're going to have Thomas on the. Okay, that's fine. We can go with that. When we always ask people who come on, Tom, but just while I was busy googling, what was the moment? What was the shirt that really stood out to you? What was the one that you were like, this isn't just player kits anymore. This is art. This is when your eyes fully open. I know you mentioned the Fiorentina kits, but what was?
Yeah,
there's got to be something where you just go, oh, hello. this is new and exciting.
I think that it's probably for me one of the classic Inter shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Where you thought, actually, I just want to wear that. I love looking at it. I'm trying to think what year of Inter shirt it would have been. It was definitely one of the classic. With the
Pirelli along the
Pirelli sponsor. Yeah, that's it. I was trying to struggle for that name. That was, I think, one of the ones that actually made me go, this is something else. That's that. Again, I haven't got one of those, but it's one of the ones that I would always be on the lookout for, because it is that special. But I think there is that definitely the Italian influence in the 1990s that is definitely in the back of my head, that have a penchant for those sort of kits. But Napoli kits as well, I always really like. There's some really iconic ones of those as well, isn't it?
What about Leeds? What would be your ultimate Leeds shirt? Which one would jump out for you?
As in favourite or most iconic? Because I think those are different.
I think you're right. I think they're two different things. So I'm happy to go with either or both.
Iconic wise, it's the Yeboah shirt with the high collar. I had that, the Thistle Hotels one, and I must have looked so stupid in it at 15 years old or something when I had it, and it was really up there. It was horribly uncomfortable. I remember seeing Carlton Palmer wearing it and hating it. But yeah, that's one of the most iconic ones for me, because that was my period of being so passionate about it.
LUFC written down in italics as well as script. Yeah. I actually, funny you should mention that. I actually sent that to Sai. Someone was selling a one on Vinted the other day, and I was like, I don't know, like there's part of me like, when it's not your team, but like a shirt just stands out to you. I was like,
yeah,
it's 50 quid. And I was like, oh, do I not? And then I was like, oh, there was a low time tier shirt as well, and I was like, I'm not sure. This is the one here, and you can only imagine Tony Yeboah scoring volleys on this, can't you? Like, there's just no other player wore it.
With a Yeboah on the back as well. That's brilliant.
Yeah. That's an absolute banger.
Yeah, absolutely lovely. But yeah, no, that was sort of my time. And then the one before that was the away kit with the green and blue, which Yeboah also wore for a bit as well. But I sort of more associate with someone like Brian Dean or something like that. So that's lovely. It just epitomized the time where it was worn. It wasn't quite the massive. That's the one.
Yeah.
It was when football still had cloggers at the back. David Weatherall and those sort of players were sporting this shirt, and it was. Yeah, it felt really sort of earthy then.
This is from a period where it didn't matter how much was spent on the pitch. Every football pitch still had drainage. Like in the goal, there was always a little mound. So, which I quite liked. On this kit as well, I like the corduroy collar. It was like a really heavy collar on these ASIC shirts from back in the day as well, wasn't there?
Absolutely, yeah. That's a serious one, isn't it? It looks heavy. Yeah. So when it gets wet, you're going to be really lugging that around.
Look at the width on those sleeves as well.
Yeah.
It looks thick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to wear that on a hot, stuffy day, I don't think.
No, exactly. It always amazes me how sweaty I get in a football short. And you think, this isn't supposed to be the way, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But back in the day, that's how these were real players. They were playing a three-piece suit essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. A thick wool.
Excellent. Si, have we got any more news before we start going on to our final bits?
What did you want to ask? Like the $1 million question?
Well, I was going to do that, but I thought we could do some news first. Then we can
we'll do a little bit of news
towards the $1 million question. Because if we ask that now and then be like, all right, and now here's the news, it feels a bit anticlimactic at this point.
All right, okay. So I'm borrowing from footy headlines. I've sort of skipped some of the leaks because we'll probably cover
one of these days. Footy headlines will sponsor us, by the way.
I don't think they'll probably sue us rather than
football
sponsor
us. Yeah, they'll sue us for leaking football kits. Good luck with that one. Footy headlines.
Yeah. I thought this was kind of interesting. So this is Ajax's leaked away kit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's been a few Ajax leaks, and not all of them are necessarily true, but this one looks like it will be used. Now, the interesting thing I found about this one is that it is Vincent van Gogh inspired, right? Now, if you don't know, there has been a load of Vincent van Gogh Ajax concept shirts, which have been turned into fake shirts over the last few years, but there's never been an official one. And then now they're going and making official. I almost prefer, I don't know if you've seen they did have it in another article, but I'll see if I can find a quick. Here we go. So this is like the fake one. Although that's
oh yes, I have seen that. It's one of the ones you get on the Instagram reels, isn't it? When you're going down, you see them with that caged background and this.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, definitely. There's the caged background. Yeah, the fake sellers. Which I think it's kind of a nice kit, but
I think that would sell. That would genuinely would sell.
Oh, definitely.
That's the Van Gogh inspired.
I think quite nice. I like how the colors all blend together. The palette's quite nice.
Yeah.
So
nice. Yeah. So I thought I wasn't going to share loads of leaks, but one thing they've done on Footy Headlines is, or actually a couple of Kit Magazine, Mystery Football, a couple other people, they replaced the current sponsors with retro sponsors on the current kits. So instead of looking at the leaks as they're going to be this season, in fact, the Arsenal one they were wearing today to lose the title in. Spoiler for anyone who's 2 weeks out of date. So I want to know what you think when they changed the sponsor to the old sponsor.
This is sponsors Arsenal that just look right with football clubs.
It does,
like Arsenal are JVC. They are JVC. And I also as well, I like the fact they've gone back to the canon for the.
That's real. They've actually done that in real life.
Yeah, I like that. I'm not 100% sold on the blue. I think the blue is a little bit too light.
It's got Tesco vibes, isn't it?
Yeah. Like,
I'm also not a fan of the this new Adidas template, which about 10 clubs have got.
No, I don't like that either.
You could give that to Czechia and go, "There's your new kit," and they'd be like, "Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks."
Yeah. Well, we did see when we did the Euros episode, Tony, a load of them had this little sliver down the side, and then it goes onto the shorts and wraps around the arse. If you remember,
I went off on that, didn't I? I wasn't happy.
Yeah. Well, it turns out a load of the Premier League teams have that next year now too.
Well, they're going to look stupid in the worst league in the world, so that's fine.
Yeah. So here's the Liverpool one. Then You'll Never Walk Alone one, but they've put Carlsberg on it. I think the collar's interesting on this. I don't think I like it.
Interesting is a good word for it, I think.
Interesting is a really different word to use than ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, we'll just stop the collar here, shall we?
Again, I'm not entirely sure that the collar's the fourth worst thing that's wrong with this shirt.
Yeah.
It is a bit jarring, isn't it?
It sort of saves it a little bit, but
I want to ask Trent Alexander-Arnold for sausages. So yeah, we got Man City with brother on the shirt.
Oh, I like that.
That works, doesn't it?
That works nicely.
Yeah. We've got
apparently the thing on the sleeves on the cuffs.
I'll go back.
Counts the Man City shirt is apparently meant to be a reference to the to the regional phone code. So that's just how niche references are now with football shirts. Like,
you can just imagine the marketing call with Qatar, couldn't you? Or, sorry, Abu Dhabi, and they're like, we need something to connect with the local fans. People are accusing us of being an oil club. Yeah, just put the phone number on.
Yeah,
they just look down at their phone.
Yeah,
what number are you calling from? Yeah, let's put that on there.
A load of clubs that have just got X directory on there, just
because everyone still uses landlines, of course.
Man City's still in the phone book.
Yeah. Dortmund.
I like that. That's quite nice.
Yeah, you like that?
It does work.
So see, look, all the clubs are going to these stupid like Puma shirts as well. Look, there's like a stupid curve at the bottom.
Yeah, why do they keep coming in like that?
There you go. Fiorentina, that looks good, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
you would get that. I would get that. I would get that.
The new Fiorentina shirt is class as well, by the way. Like,
it's nice.
It's lovely, and it's classic Fiorentina.
It looks like Hummel chevrons on a Kappa shirt.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I like it. Maybe that's why I like it.
Hummel have been coming out with some great stuff the last couple of seasons. They've my local club, Cambridge, they've really pulled it out of the bag, and they seem to be doing individual shirts for clubs rather than templates, which is really
we said this, Tom. This is why Sunderland are really, really excited that Hummel are back on board now, because it's like there's going to be something that's individually designed. By all accounts, in the red stripes is like sort of pictures of like the ships and stuff that's going to be like for the local area, referencing like historical bits and pieces. And apparently, as well, I've heard a rumor going around that potentially York might get Hummel next season as well. So that would be really interesting. So both clubs that are close to me might be repping Hummel next year, but that's unconfirmed at the minute.
Well, the UK supplier of Hummel has changed, hasn't it? Because of the last one went bankrupt or something like that, and screwed over a load of clubs, including #United. But I think there is a new rep in the UK, a new company representing.
I think as well, there's Sunderland seem to have another link with Fanatics as well. So that also might be where they'll sell some of the shirts through potentially. I know the limited edition stuff was all sold through them as well.
They just need to ditch that 90. I know you're a fan, but the 88 kit or whatever it is, 90.
The 92, the 92 thing that they just brought out. Yeah,
they've done it for every team, right?
The 88, the 82
the 88 stripes.
Yeah,
the Denmark template. And like every team had that this year instead of getting the unique shirts. Like Coventry, we're looking at Coventry. Coventry ended with their away shirt. They just ended up with a green and black one of those, rather than having something that was like last years they've had something inspired by the cathedral or inspired by two-tone, or inspired by something about the city. Then this year they just get an 88 template. Southampton had it as well. I don't feel too bad for them, but it's
What have you thought about the hashtag ones? You mentioned hashtag a minute ago, and they've had some really interesting shirts. What have you thought about those?
Yeah, I've got a few. Yeah, I've got a few. I really like the hashtag ones. I wasn't sold on hashtag as an idea for a long time because I hated the name.
Yeah,
I was like, hashtag is a really annoying name. But and also like it wasn't a YouTuber. They weren't YouTubers I watched. They were sort of probably for the generation younger than me. But slowly, I think I've come around to it. I think a lot of people hated them because they were doing something. But I was like, actually, no, they're doing something good for the grassroots. They're doing something good for the non-league football. All right, they've got a big, they're getting a lot of branding behind them or whatever. Much like Wrexham are. And a lot of people hate Wrexham right now. Or I don't think people hate them. They're jealous, right? They're jealous of it. And then I saw some of the kits, the hashtag kits, and I was like, these are actually really nice kits. I'm going to get some of these, and they had them in classic football shirts. And I think I've got one. I've got a Football Manager one, of course. But I've also picked up, But I've also picked up some of the, I don't know if any are in arm's reach, probably not. But some of the ones, the Lucozade ones, but they've got like a really nice like design prints on them. I thought these are just cool shirts. Like
they are. There's a really nice purple one that was really good. I haven't managed to yet, but I've got one. Hang on, I'll grab that. The sort of noughts and crosses one.
Yes, that one. I have that one in another color. Here we go. Here are my hashtag ones.
I feel like that should have been given to Everton as a shirt or something.
That would be a perfect Everton one. Yeah, apparently these are all hand drawn as well. Every single one is unique.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently so.
See, it's got different sponsors. See that? And do you know what I also learned? I don't know if your one is, but this one is reversible. So if you don't want to wear the purple, there is a blue one inside.
What? That's amazing.
cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think this was this one might be the training one, and that one's the home shirt.
Right. Yeah. No, they're certainly not reversible.
And then that's the goalkeeper one, the foot manager one. I've also got one with like a lightning bolt down it, but I don't know where that one is. So yeah, I think they've been doing some really cool stuff with shirts, and I don't know what I haven't actually seen their Hummel ones from this year. But
no, I'm not sure either.
But I think this is what we're saying with the non-league guy. If anyone hasn't seen last week's episode with the non-league guys, which they won't have done yet as we're recording because we haven't put it out yet, but by the time they see this episode, that one will be out. So yeah, we had a really interesting conversation with them about hashtag and some of these other clubs going into non-league. All right, so Fiorentina. Sorry, I'm going to bring it back to this. Fiorentina 7-up on Nintendo.
Do you know what, this is? I was thinking about this because this was when Tony says, it's going to be what's going to be the Holy Grail, and I was thinking it's probably one of these to be for me. But I think I would go 7-up.
7-up looks better, doesn't it? On that design,
on that shirt,
7-up looks better.
Lower. Yeah, Nintendo sits too high, doesn't it?
Yeah.
On I think on an older shirt where they're wider and baggier, I think Nintendo sits quite nicely. But I think on these slim fitting ones, the 7-up occupies the space better.
And it's going to sound really silly, but I think with a bit more white on the shirt, the Nintendo blends in a bit more. Like, I don't know, because obviously you see Nintendo, you see Batistuta doing that all the time with the white sleeves.
Yes.
Whereas, like, I think that 7-up actually looks pretty clean.
Yeah, it is. It really does. It really does. And I think on the original one, it's quite a felty material as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or third option.
No.
Samontana Gelati all'Italia is an Italian sponsor though. The other two aren't.
It's true.
I hate to break it to people. But... Mario is Japanese and not Italian.
What?
But this,
you don't like
the
smiley face ice cream.
I sort of do, but I don't want to admit
it. Here's some alternatives. Hitachi for Liverpool. Did they have Vespa at one point?
No.
Someone just
surely
that
not. I don't remember that.
Did they even have Hitachi?
Yeah.
I think Carlsberg looks best out of the four, doesn't it?
Oh, I do like the candy.
Candy doesn't quite sit. I think the collar makes it almost like the angle would, like the straight line on the collar and the straight line on the C on Carlsberg look like they work together, but the fact that Candy's got a slight angle and then this really sort of like straight collar just looks a little bit jarring for me.
Collar is absurd, I think. I would like to see a Crown Paints version.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Let's see if they have one. So these are them. Wait, it's just okay. I don't know if there's any more. We'll have a. Oh, they did have Hitachi by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Right,
I don't know it's done now.
The Sega Arsenal as well. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the sort of the gold one, isn't it, with the Sega for Arsenal?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, if you just click on that next one there.
Oh yeah, sorry, we've got some of the other ones here. The I saw the AC Milan one, Mediolanum. The Arsenal one I think it would look good with Sega on it. I think that would improve that one. And also, what they should do, just put because that blue, they got the blue stripes down the sleeve. Just hide a little Sonic in there. That would be the kind of detail that would make me, even if I'm not an Arsenal fan, I would be like, oh, I would get that.
Definitely.
Even as a Sunderland fan, I've got to say that Newcastle Brown Ale logo on a Newcastle shirt is iconic. It's absolutely iconic. Like, and
it's good, isn't it?
Looks class on the Man City, on the Real Madrid shirt as well. There, sorry.
I think Newcastle's shirt this season, like, it's boring. Like,
good. Move on.
Is it not Opel on the Bayern Munich shirts anyway now? Oh, it's T-Mobile.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It should be Opel though. You're right.
Yeah, the Continental is
classic
as well.
Dortmund one. Yeah. I had one similar to that, but then it was one of the ones that I bought and then sold because I was just like, this is worth too much for me to keep.
Sometimes you got to cash in, haven't you? Like,
this is it.
Again, we were talking with the non-league guys last week, and it was when do you get to a point when you go, it's probably better to sell this shirt, isn't it, than keep a hold of it?
Yeah, it's a sad time, isn't it? Because then you think, oh God, you just end up being really nihilistic and think everything is ultimately ethereal and nothing actually matters. But then you suddenly go, but I love this piece of polyester. It's
well, tune in next week for another episode.
right.
I hope you've enjoyed it, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. Just
I've got one more piece of news, Tony, only because I saw it. It popped up. It was one of the latest pieces of news. Red Diamonds.
ooh.
You got me the shirt last week. This is it's got that horrible Nike template shape, but I actually like this sort of velvety look, I guess it is, isn't it? Like a marbly look. Or like tie-dye, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's kind of smart.
Yeah, it does look really cool. I've never
like
seen
that.
a shirt do that sort of effect.
Oh, look at the red,
that's
though.
The red.
Oh, that's stunning.
I mean, that's like Mars, isn't it? That's like the red planet. And then there is the third somewhere. You get little details like that as well. Like
that's nice.
Yeah.
Very good. That's for the 12th man.
There is stuff that's like very Japanese, like that placement of the DHL on the shorts, or this on the back of the shorts.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting where different countries put different bits of sponsors and stuff.
Mitsubishi just above, and then the player on the bottom as well.
Yeah, that's it. They did have, I think that's the third. Sorry, then that's the home. They haven't got the away there, but yeah. So I thought that was one more piece of news.
Looks pretty cool. I like it. So I suppose we now start to come to parts of the show that is very, very personal now, Tom. So if we were to give you a blank check and you can buy any football shirt from history, what would it be?
This is really
it's a hard question.
It's so hard. I think the Fiorentina ones we've touched on. I mean that those two that were absolute classic. The 7-Up probably would come very, very close. But I think if I was really going for one, and it was like the ultimate up there, it would be one way before my lifetime, and it would be the Leeds 72. Just because it is so iconic. It's our only FA Cup win in that one, and it's a beautiful, iconic shirt, and it's worn by all of our sort of club legends. And I really I like the way it looks. It's just a really, really nice, pure shirt.
I think did we discuss this one the other week for the FA Cup final episode?
We did because we discounted the Sunderland one from 73, which ironically again played against Leeds. We discounted it. We discounted it because we said at the time that it was just too plain. Sunderland's was just plain red and white stripes, so we got rid.
And this is very similar. It suffers the same thing, but it's just so iconic for in Leeds lore.
But that's exactly it. If there's a personal affinity towards it, because this is what I envisage Leeds is. This shirt here, the 73 Cup final shirt. That for me is Leeds. Like
look how tiny that umbrella is.
I know, it's absolutely minuscule.
It's like a little nipple.
Yeah,
it's minuscule. But it's like a weird mesh as well. The material.
You can see what the Yeboah shirt was obviously modelled on. Was that design, wasn't it?
I'd never realised that before. It's exactly that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Switch those two numbers around. The number set is the same.
Yeah.
Well, maybe straighter. That's really wonkily put on.
That number's been kicked by Yeboah. I think
I was complaining about MLS quality control earlier on. Look at this. This was just.
It's a jumper, isn't it?
That's brilliant, though, isn't it?
It's nice. So which one? This one, or wait? So what was this one then?
Yeah, the one with that's that's the.
That looks thick. Look at the sleeves on that.
So it's the 72, isn't it?
So is that the league title as well? Is it? You win the league with that shirt? Is that right?
Yeah.
So that's the Centenary Cup final.
What about the last ever Division 1 shirt as well?
Yeah, that's the last side I did consider that. I did consider that actually. That was our last win, and the last one before the Premier League.
91.
Yeah, 91-92 season.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you say last ever division. Oh yeah, because
last ever Division 1 winners.
It was Premier League from there on in. So
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Portsmouth was were the penultimate ones, as in the one before Leeds. I think because we went down again. Is it this one? Obviously, without all.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, exactly. With the Evening Post, which is that and the Top Man are the
one's quite an iconic Leeds one as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Top Man is in the shop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe they did all the suits for them as well. It was during that sort of time. But yeah, this is that's the last time we were really, really good.
Wait, what's your thoughts on Leeds badges? Because they've changed quite a bit over time.
Yeah, I still, I think it's probably because I grew up with the White Rose circular one. The shield's fine. I don't hate it. It's
you like this one?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. But I like the 70s smiley one as well. It's literally like an LU in one circle.
This one? No, not that one.
No. Not that I do like that peacock one though. Yeah, I think that might be that might come back again. Actually,
this one. Sorry.
One. Yeah, that's exactly So the thing in the middle there is an L and a U, but it's kind of a smiley.
I love that.
But that shirt actually is another real classic.
What did you think
quite
of
a lot of redesigns
of the one that I hate to bring it up, the one that somebody designed and went, that'll do, and then it just ended up being like a meme of Pro Evolution Soccer, essentially.
It's a hilarious chapter.
So bad in it.
There's actually an episode. Have you ever watched Veep with Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Oh yeah.
No, I know. Iannucci thing. And this features on a Leeds shirt in one of the episodes there. It's one of those weird things, but there is an actual shirt made up with that and the other Leeds badge on the other side. It's a bizarre one, but yeah, what a debacle that was. I think it was the Leeds badge for all of 24 hours.
Yeah.
I noticed Villa are going. So Castore changed the Villa badge, the one that looks like Chelsea's, but because they sort of planned it in advance, I don't think the fans liked it. I always said it looked like a Chelsea badge.
It's that line.
They're going back to the because it's circular rather than a shield, and they're going back to a shield next year.
From what I understand, obviously the fans wanted a circular badge to hark back to when they won the European Cup in '82. Because let's not forget as well, Villa have been around for a lot longer than Chelsea, but of course, in terms of current football fans' psyche, particularly younger football fans, not many fans would have heard of Villa over Chelsea. They've been more modern, more successful recently. So they went to this sort of circular design here, but then they've also been having this shield badge as well, which has been sort of like in the background. So they've been running with two logos, which of course, everyone knows that from a marketing perspective, have two logos for your company. That's great, isn't it? And then they've now sort of gone with something that looks a bit like that. But I think it's ever slightly different.
I think this is the new one, isn't it? This is. I think that's the before.
Yeah.
That's the before.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And then
so they've gone back.
I think this is the new one.
That's a bit more American, isn't it? With the sort of the curvature on the crest, on the shield.
Here we go. I didn't realize actually the Villa fans voted for it, but you can see it immediately. Like even ITV, they put it there. Like it looks like Chelsea.
Well, interestingly, the lion's the wrong way around.
That's why it looks. I know the Chelsea one is. The Chelsea one is that way, looking backwards, but because the head is that way, it immediately made me think of that. But yeah, actually, that looks kind of nice like that. I have to say. Oh, you can't see it. Hang on. That looks kind of nice like that.
Oh yeah, it's kind of embossed,
with a gold and I do like these new rubberized badges. Washproof, they're gonna last. Like as long as they don't come off the shirt, there's got to be a good way to glue them back down, I suppose. But I do think you can have them you can have depth to them in the same way you used to be able to have with the sewn badges, and I think that's kind of like.
I think as well, Villa's is 150 years. This coming season as well, so they've got to do something pretty special for 150. You know what I mean? So
that'll be why it's gold.
Also probably
the Champions League this year. So and there we go. I know you're a relapsed Villa fan, Tony. So we won't sit on too much. Relapsed, were we?
Right. So we've done the best shirt that you would buy. And then the other question that we ask is if you could banish one thing from either football shirts, or do we widen out to football shirt culture side as well?
Yep. Anything to do with football
banish
shirt.
One thing to Room 101, never to be seen again. What would it be?
Yeah, I mean that's another one that I could think of a lot of things. And immediately, if it's about the culture, it's going to be fake kits come to mind, and the amount of times I've bought stuff thinking this looks legit, and then you're just not sure, or you just it doesn't. But the one thing that keeps coming back, and if anyone's watched anything on Discovering MLS, where we go through the MLS kits, it's the thing that bugs me time and time again, and it's when you get a beautiful shirt and they haven't thought about the sponsor, and it just goes across, and it either interrupts the lines, or it's just in a weird font, and it just ruins the shirt completely. And often it's too big or badly placed. And you just think that would be so beautiful if you hadn't written, XYZ healthcare across the top of it and just ruined the pattern.
100%. I can't disagree with that at all. like we've said time and time again, like if clubs gave you an option, and they're never going to, because of the huge sums of money these people pay to put their logos on the front of shirts. But if someone offered you a sponsorless shirt, I reckon they'd sell really well. I mean, this one doesn't have a sponsor on.
Yeah,
it looks better. If you put a sponsor on that, it would ruin it.
Imagine local supermarket across the Eagle's face. It wouldn't be like, wouldn't work, would it?
No, exactly.
Here's an example. I knew I'd even bought another MLS shirt this week.
Oh yeah.
I told you I've picked up 5 this week, and that is a horrible company. But also it interrupts that nice stripe across.
Exactly. Exactly.
By the way, same exactly, and this one, the code is exactly right as well. Look at the quality on the MLS badge; they're so bad. I don't know if you've ever noticed this before, Tom. If you've got any from this era,
I have. I thought it was just because I'd bought an old, because of the quality of the secondhand shirt that I have, but it's not. I'm just trying to look through some of the other ones I've got here. That one looks. Actually, I say it looks fine. I'm just looking at it closer, and you can see the glue around the edges.
Oh, is that if that's like the Minnesota one? That's a player issue one. Then if it's not sewn on, if it's a material badge, or is it a rubberized badge? These ones are material. So
Cincinnati shirt.
Yeah, so if you got rubberized one, they tend to be all right. But
actually, this is quite a good example of the shirt. It's not the worst example, but actually the shirt sponsor here, I mean, it's okay. But if you just had that, take that off, have this. Where is it now? This thing, maybe in the middle, fine. But the words it just doesn't work for me.
I think we need to do an episode about shirt sponsors. I reckon we definitely do that.
See, the sponsor's coming off this, and I'm half tempted just to take it off, but I am going to be left with a gap there, because I actually really don't like Herbalife. It's a horrible company.
No, they've got very, very bad rep, and obviously Red Bull sponsored by Red Bull. That's always going to be the case. So you're never going to get that. And this is obviously a very Red Bull heavy shirt.
Well, I quite like the Red Bull ones, but I know it's obviously a big. I think Red Bull's got a cool factor about it. I know
it's definitely it's going that way. I think. Yeah.
Would Red
I know
Bull
people don't like Leipzig, but
would Red Bull be better, right? And just again, if you've got because you get your 2 Red Bull shirts up, because both of you have got one there, haven't you? Right?
Yeah.
Would the shirts be better if it wasn't for the Red Bull badge as well? Because it's 4 bulls.
Yeah, I think
at
so.
the front. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
I'm just looking on that shirt, particularly the one that Si's got, and like, if you take away the actual logo and just have New York written on it, I suppose the same on your own, Tom, as well.
Yeah.
Just had New York written on there. That's
well, you say look how many times New York is written into the shirt in the background.
Yeah,
yes, it's always on.
I just feel like it's just repeated, that
and little NYs as well, the little New York logo.
They're really hiding a lot in there, aren't they?
Yeah,
actually, this one's got the old badge on. It's one of the old.
The old MLS.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's really classic.
This was that's the Leipzig one, which I bought back upstairs because I tried to sell it on Vinted, but because someone's cut the label out, they were like, nope. It might be fake. So
just to prove the point about hammer it home a bit more, this is my favorite ever Dallas one.
That's nice.
Sponsor, just Dallas written again. I absolutely love it. I think it works just beautifully.
I wonder if I could get written across there in that font, LA Galaxy.
Yes.
I mean, it wouldn't be official. Like then you've customized it, but it would actually be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think as I was saying, I think we need to do an episode about shirt sponsors. Like, we've got to, because it does divide opinion. Probably like more so into the shirts look better without, but then there are also some shirts which just have absolute iconic sponsors that you shouldn't
and actually
imagine the club with anything else but.
I mean,
that works
YouTube
quite nicely.
Cool.
That does look quite
That's
nice.
pretty nice, isn't it? You know.
Although YouTube, I don't know if YouTube TV is still a thing.
Yeah,
But
probably not. Yeah.
The Target ones on the Minnesota shirts, I think, really work. Hey, I've got that's the MLS there. I've got that one. That's like the Art Deco.
Yeah, but again, the Target, they don't need the words on there. It just works. And actually, this one, I don't know what this is, but I picked this Dynamo's one up. It's a training top, so it's got a long sleeve, but I just really like the 76. I've no idea if it's a sponsor or
looks like something
they've put onto for the club, but I just thought it looked really cool.
That does look cool. Yeah, I like that. Seattle Sounders with Xbox on.
They used to have Xbox, didn't they?
Yes,
yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, great example. Yeah.
I think yeah, I think you've got to have. I mean, obviously these are all corporations, but let's be honest. Some corporations are cooler than others. You know, they're all horrible, but you know, like Xbox. I mean, Xbox do some horrible things sometimes, but in the grand scheme of things, they're not like a multi-level marketing, insurance, healthcare providing, you know, scamming.
Yeah, going off on one on a tangent, and I don't know where I need to find this to put the link back in the description. But have you ever seen someone who did a meme of like evil companies in films, but if they supported Pride Month and just like go for that like massively over the top? Because you know when companies just buy in, just like, hey, we're really like progressive and that like Skynet, but like done in rainbows. I was like,
yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it's true though, isn't it? You're looking at the PSG kits, or right now Ligue 1 is doing obviously all its Pride Month stuff or Pride shirts, and there's a bit of a kick-off about that because some of the players are refusing to wear it, yet they're perfectly happily wearing gambling sponsors all over their shirts.
Yeah.
Which, you know, both of those are haram if we're talking about, you know, if they're saying, oh, it's against my religion. Both of those things are haram. You shouldn't really wear either if you really want to, you know, go on the religious basis. And it's like and also the idea that, you know, we have a Qatar or wherever sponsoring PSG, yet PSG have Pride Month on their shirts, or they have the rainbow laces or whatever. Like there's just a level of irony about it, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, I think I'll get off my soapbox for a minute, but go get the new MLS prize shirt. It looks quite nice.
Yeah, that looks lovely. I found another one that backs up the point here as well, which is a really vintage. Again, it's an old one because you can see the sponsor on there, Colorado Rapids.
Oh yeah, just the name across it.
Just that. That's all you need.
That's not a
brand anymore, is it?
No, yeah, Athletic. I've not one I've come across very much, but yeah, a bit of an Inter Milan vibe there as well.
So that must have been quite. Yeah, I'm looking 2003, 2004. That shirt is. They didn't have a sponsor on the shirt. They just had Colorado Rapids for a few years, and the year before that they had a different logo as well, and a different logo before that. They went through a few rebrands by the looks of it, and then Adidas on that. They have 5 different logos in 5 years. Looking at this, which seems chaotic, but yeah, go have a look at Colorado Rapids logos. That's an episode for you, Tom.
It absolutely is. Yeah, that's great content. Thank you.
Yeah.
At least we've already worked a way to get you back on, so I like that. But you know what, Tom? No, honestly, man, it's been awesome having you on. Genuinely appreciate it. It's been a cracking conversation, and hope you've had fun too. If people want to find more of your work, where can we find you? Now's the time to get the plugs out.
Yeah, it's discoveringmls.com. We'll take you straight to the channel. On social media, it's Discovering MLS pretty much everywhere. So you will find me on those. Pretty active across all of it. So yeah, but it's a lot of fun. And like I say, MLS is it's a really, really fun. I think still relatively undiscovered league. So come and learn and have a bit of fun with it.
No, absolutely. And there we go. That's the channel right there. So
yeah, good stuff. I draw a lot of stuff on the channel as well.
Yeah, where's this drawing MLS players? That looks really cool.
Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah, did a few different iconic players in there, but I do drawings for every video.
Yeah, I love these thumbnails. They're really cool.
Definitely. Thank you. It's good fun to do.
Again, something a little bit different. Oh, there you go. There's Big Sam. Look at that. Oh,
yeah, his story is brilliant. You know, he was at the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Yeah.
Cool, excellent. All right, well, we'll definitely head on over there and make sure we drop a follow. Si, where can people find you? And also explain why you're not going to be about for a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. So you can find me at Somaggio Football Shirts. Or Somaggio. If you want football manager stuff, I'm on Somaggio. But Somaggio Football Shirts is my football shirts channel. And yeah, it's been growing like mad the last few weeks. So I think I had 100 a month ago, and now I'm at about 400. So, you know, slow and steady, but, you know, it's getting there. And, you know, a couple of TikTok as well growing. So that's good. But yeah, I'm not going to be, well, I've got a mad 2 weeks because I'm getting married next Saturday, and then we're off to Milan. And surprise, Nino's trying to convince me to go on a San Siro stadium tour, and she's agreed that we're gonna take some Inter and AC Milan shirts and, you know, model them while we're there. So oh, all right, okay, fine. So we'll get some of that out there. I feel like there's a trick in here. Is this a test before I get married? Am I supposed? I'm like saying, are you sure you want to do that? That sounds like something I want to do, but it doesn't sound like you want to do that. She's like, yeah, I want to do that. So I don't know if I'm being tricked here, and this is like the final test before I get married. But yeah, and then when I'm back from the sorry, go on, Tony. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, I've just got this vision of like her going, oh yeah, bring your Inter Milan shirts like on an AC Milan day, just like yeah, just bring them into the stadium. Everyone will be totally fine with that.
It's the season finished. I
know, yeah. I just realized what
season finishes next week, so we're going right after the season finishes.
Yeah.
Inter Milan have obviously just won the title. If you haven't seen the video of the tifo around the stadium, by the way, it's great.
Yeah,
around the San Siro. But yeah, we'll probably go to the at least the AC Milan Museum. I think there might be an Inter one as well, and if we can, the stadium. But we're only there for a few days because we're coming back, and then I'm going to the board game expo at the NEC. So if anyone's going there, come and say hi. Maybe I'll wear a football shirt there. Maybe I won't. But yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of content around that as well.
Awesome, excellent stuff. So there you go. So next episode we might have a guest host in as well, just to give Si a bit of a break, which is much deserved. If you want to find anything that I'm doing some Football Manager stuff over on Twitch, Football Manager Tony Jameson FM. Twitter's just Tony Jameson, and that's about it really. Like I say, keep an eye out on TikTok. Follow at Footy Shirt Sock on Twitter, because again we keep saying every week we weren't allowed to have the full name, so it's a bit of an arse on trying to find it on Twitter. But make sure you like the video, comment to the video, subscribe to the channel as well, and of course do let us know if you've enjoyed it in the Discord. So Tom, appreciate you coming on. Much love for that. Genuinely fantastic chat. Si, if we don't speak to you beforehand, all the best for your wedding day, and please make sure you wear a football shirt at some point during that day. Otherwise, you have to get a permanent replacement host.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I say we'll see you all. We'll see you all very, very soon. So take care of yourselves, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next episode. All the best, everyone. Take care. Bye now.
Cheers.